Hello, today we're going to take a look at issue number 1 of the new Warhammer Combat Patrol magazine. So this is from the trial that may or may not be in your area at the moment. Issue number 1 is only $2.99. It comes with the Space Marine Captain and a winged Tyranid Prime. So this is obviously great value for issue 1. But if you do see these, do just grab the one, let someone else get the other ones. Make sure as many new people can get into the hobby as possible. So try and just grab the one if you do see one of these. But today I'm going to go through and just show you what exactly is included in the first issue. Flipping it over to the back, we can see that you have the build, paint, read, collect and play sections, just like in the previous magazines we've seen from Hachette for Warhammer 40,000 and Age of Sigmar. Up here we have an advert for issue number 2, which is going to include 3 of the Ron Ryan's Leapers. Issue number 3 includes Infernus Marines, and issue number 4 is just a paints and brush issue, but that's okay. The back also confirms that this set will include the return of the Silver Templars. Some more information about them. They were introduced in the Warhammer Conquest magazine. Since then we had Imperium as well, which had a little bit more on these guys. But it's nice to see there's a little bit in there about that for anyone that's been following the Silver Templars successor chapter there. And now we'll go ahead and have a look at the magazine as well. So just quickly to cover the models themselves. So the Space Marine Captain and Terminator armor and the winged Tyranid Prime. They come on a single sprue here. Few pieces. These are great models. If you've already seen something like the Leviathan set, you'll know these come in there. But these are really good models. And for $2.99, you really can't go wrong, even if it's just a tester paint scheme or something like that. Or use these for kit bashing, whatever you want to do with them. I mean, they're going to only go together sort of one way, but if you have other models, these are great. There's also 6 basic white dice included in here as well. Now then, in terms of what else is included in here, you have obviously the magazine. Then we have this. This is a paper battle mat, double-sided. So one side has this kind of industrial layout. It does fold quite a bit bigger than this. And then this side has sort of alien-looking plants, I guess, something like that on this side. Perhaps a bit more suited to the Tyranids. But yeah, that's folds up to a decent size. So certainly when you're learning to play with the models that are included, that's going to be absolutely fine. And then finally we have this here, which gives you a little bit more information about the collection. So once you open that up, here we have the information here. So you've got the information about the subscriber gifts, the things that are included here. So things like your clippers, your plastic glue and mold line remover, brush set, the binders you get along the way, heat changing mug, Primaris company champion there. And when you fold it over, it actually gives information about the premium subscription. So if you don't know what that is, essentially you pay an extra £2 per issue. So a normal issue after the first couple is going to set you back, I believe, $9.99. So if you pay an extra £2, then along the way as you go, you get some extra things. So in the first kit, you get Brutalis Dreadnought and the Hive Tyrant. Second one, Demon Prince and Howling Banshees. And the third one, you're looking at some orc things there, killer cans. I've not seen really too familiar with orcs, I must admit. And then we got some League of Votann guys there as well. Finally then, Astra Minotaur and Tank at the bottom, and the Brood Coven for the Gene Stealer Cults. So if you're interested in getting all that, the extra £2 per issue may or may not be worth it for you then, but that is a decent saving, I do believe, on all of those still if you pay that extra £2. Right, go ahead and have a look at the rest of it. So when you open up what we were just looking at there, it does actually give you a full look what you're going to be getting inside here, with the exception of obviously those premium kits we were just looking at. So you'll see that for each of the combat patrols for the armies that we get here, you also get extra models. So we've got, for example, the Parasite of Mortrex there for the Tyranids, Chaplain on Bike for the Space Marines. So there's going to be some really good issues in here for just picking up extra bits, even if you don't want to subscribe to the whole thing. And that's outside of perhaps just picking up some extra Khorne Berserkers if you're a World Eaters player, things like that. So yeah, there's some really good things included here. You find full breakdown of these and exactly what's included. I would recommend looking at Faux Hammer for that. So FAUX Hammer. They have a brilliant website that really breaks down everything that's included, the costs, and puts things into perspective for you. And yeah, you'll find that some people may benefit from the subscription, other people may just want to pick up the odd issue. The only problem with doing that sometimes is that the issues do sell out very fast, and so you're not guaranteed to be able to always get the issue that you want. So just something to perhaps bear in mind. But on the flip side, you may not want all of these models. 9 combat patrols is a lot. I don't think anyone would say that it's not. So you do have to bear in mind whether you really want all these models on your shelves, or whether you're going to have the time to build and paint them all. So at the bottom here, we have information on the teams included. So we've got Space Marines, Tyranids, Leagues of Votann, Eldari, Astra Militarum, Genestealer Cults, Orcs, and Chaos Space Marines, before finally getting the World Eaters. Also in the inside of this, you see that there is an advert for a brand new Space Marine in here. So I believe this is an Infernus Marine Sergeant. He's going to be exclusive to this set. In the past, if you're not already aware from having seen previous Hachette part work magazines for Warhammer, you tend to, in issue 5, get an issue where it includes a model that you can't get anywhere else. So perhaps this guy is destined for issue 5, or if not, or perhaps they might put him a bit later on in the run. But that would be my guess for now, that it would be somewhere around about issue 5. So yeah, nice little model to have, but certainly not necessary. Now we'll have a look at the magazine. Okay, so finally for the inside of the magazine itself, just to give you an example of what you're going to find in there. So first of all, we start with how to build. So it's just the basics, how to get started with these. Put together the models that you get inside the issues. There's then a bit of background in the first reading section here, just to give you an idea of the setting, the sort of major players in here, so the Imperium, Chaos, the Xenos factions, and of course the Space Marines and Tyranids are featured heavily in this first part. So as we go through, we also get a look at other models not included in the collection, so things like our non-emissary up here. So originally I had really hoped that this new set would just be Space Marines versus Tyranids, sort of in the same way that Imperium was pretty much mostly Space Marines versus Necrons. But obviously there was some AdMech and Sisters involved in that one, if you're familiar with it, as well, things like that. But yeah, I would have liked to have seen this guy as perhaps like a premium kit for the premium subscription or something like that. But I suppose doing it the way they have with the Combat Patrol, it's going to appeal to more people because it's touching on more armies. Then you come to a bit of information here. So you've got stuff about like naming your captains. You can roll to get a name. So 1 or 2, you'd call them Lucian, 3 or 4, Marius, and so on. So yeah, just little fluff things really, just to sort of make them feel a bit more your own by giving them a name. But of course, you could just call them whatever or not give them a name at all. As you go through then, you get a couple of like data sheets for these units, just to give you an idea of how that sort of stuff works. And as you go through then, you eventually get to this part where it starts teaching you sort of core concepts of how to play, and you get a little basic mission of just fighting the 2 models that you have, really, getting used to rolling to hit, to wound, rolling save rolls and things like that. and you obviously can use the dice that are included to do that. And then on the last page, then we get another look at the sort of contents as a whole, as well as the paints and other things that are included there as well as some wound markers for when you are playing those little introductory games, just so you can keep track of who has what wounds. Finally, on the back, just look at the next couple of issues. So this will always be the way, whichever issue you're looking at always has a preview of the next couple. So this has obviously got issues 2 and 3 on here, just for you to see those in a bit more detail. Well, thanks for watching and take care.